What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm be doing today is going to be a loaded cornbread. I got this idea off of one of those quick Facebook posts, and it really wasn't this cornbread. It was just the fact that what they did in their cornbread recipe was they layered bottom of whatever they were cooking the cornbread in with some onion rings, which I have here, and then they flipped it over and it was almost like a pineapple upside down cake, except with onions and cornbread. Anyway, why I'm calling it loaded is we're going to be adding some bacon, onions, cayenne peppers, and cheese to it. As far as the cornbread goes, I'm just using a cornbread mix. To make this cornbread, really all that you need is 1.5 cups of milk, 2 eggs, a 1/2 cup of butter or vegetable oil. We're going to be using some of that bacon grease. Anyway, sounds like a nice recipe. Why don't we get started cooking down this bacon? So we're going to be cooking the bacon in the same cast iron skillet that we're going to be cooking the cornbread in. For all you YouTube cooks out there, RV people, stuff like that, I'm going to be using my Induction cooktop from Avalon Bay. Every time I use this, I need to give a little shout out to Michaela for sending this over to me. If you're interested in something like this, I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can take a look at it. And we're going to cook this until everything is about, we don't want it to be crispy falling apart, but we want it to be cooked all the way through. And we're going to be saving all the grease from this. Now, this is about as done as I want my bacon. We're going to go ahead and remove that, and I'm going to save the grease that's left in there. And then I'm going to pour out a 1/2 cup of that. Looks like I made a little bit of a mess, but that should be easy to clean up on this cooktop. Anyway, I'm going to wipe this down and we're going to go ahead and cook off some onions and peppers. And this is about as done as I want these onions. I want them translucent, but I don't want them to be browned or anything like that. Don't want it to discolor the cornbread. I'm going to go ahead and get all this out and we'll make this batter. As far as this batter goes, like I said, we're just going to be following the directions on the package. Other than I'm using bacon grease as opposed to butter or oil. I already have my 2 eggs in here. And I'm going to go ahead and add my milk now. Get that combined, and now we're just going to go ahead and add our package. And this is gluten-free. If you happen to be looking for this brand, Red Mill. We're going to go ahead and mix this in. All right, I'm going to hit it with this oil or the bacon grease. Now we're going to go ahead and add our bacon, and I'm going to add a little bit at a time. I don't want to have too much bacon. I will add all my onions and peppers in. I'm going to start off with 1/2 of this cheese. See what it looks like. Alright, I'm going to go get my cast iron skillet and we're going to go ahead and get this poured in. Alright, so we got our skillet. I still have a few pieces of onion that are in here, but that's going to be fine since we're going to be adding some of these rings in anyway. And I'm just going to break them up. You know, so they're just little ringlets at the bottom of this skillet. Try to arrange them so they're kind of flattened out a little bit. Boom, I think I'm good with that. I'm going to go ahead and pour our cornbread mix over this. And this batter is a little bit thicker than I'm used to. Now normally if I was making a cornbread, what I would do would be I would have heated up this cast iron skillet so it was hot, but since I have onions at the bottom of this, I'm leaving that one little step out. And I'm interested to see how this turns out, considering that this batter is pretty thick. All right, now it's going to go in the oven at 375 degrees for Take a look at these instructions again. 25 minutes. All right, so our cornbread just got out of the oven after being in there for 25 minutes. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go around the outside with the butter knife just to make sure it's loose. And I'm gonna let it cool down for about 15 minutes. Then we're gonna flip it over, see what it looks like, and then taste it. So this has had a chance to cool down. Let's go ahead and flip this over on this plate. Wow, it's still a little hot. Let me grab a hot pad right quick. Dang. Boom. Man, that looks beautiful. Let me go get my son. We're gonna get into this taste test. So this is a wrap. It's time for me and Mason to get into this taste test. Just go ahead and take a little piece off of this.
That bacon's real good. Them onions still crisp. That cornbread is nice and light.
Is it spicy?
It's got a little bit of kick to it, which is nice because those peppers.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be this kind of spicy. Well, I like this. Got a nice little presentation along with it, with little onion spirals on the bottom. Actually, this is pretty damn spicy. I am falling in love with them fresh cayenne peppers. Anyway, man, try this recipe. I did end up having to let this cook for about 32 minutes as opposed to the 25 that was recommended on the package. Anyway, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe. I'm out.